No one talks about this, but it's in our feet where suffering settles first. That may sound strange, but Buddhist monks practice a ritual so powerful, that it's forbidden to be done more than once a week, because it stirs up memories buried in your body for decades. And it all begins with a single, simple gesture: immersing your feet in warm water in absolute silence for 3 minutes. But that's not all. There's a phrase you must repeat in that moment, and that's when the ritual breaks the spell of invisible weight. It was practiced in prisoner camps. It was passed down by Japanese grandmothers after the war. And now it's here, silent, ancient, and ready to set you free. Type "I'm ready to release" in the comments, because that single act already begins to activate the energy that clears what's holding you back. In the next few moments, I'll show you exactly how to do this ritual. But pay attention. Some people say they cry without knowing why. Others sleep for 10 straight hours after the first time. Watch until the end and decide for yourself. Is it just a ritual with water, or the beginning of a real release? When was the last time you touched your own feet with respect? Not just a quick wash in the shower, not drying them out of obligation, but really looking, feeling, honoring, because there's a silent wisdom in them that most people ignore. Your feet are the first and last point of contact with the world. They're the ones holding you up when everything else falls apart, the ones that keep walking even when your spirit wants to stop. In Buddhist traditions, feet aren't just a part of the body. They're seen as portals of energy, the foundation of our connection to the earth, to destiny, and to what we cannot explain, but can always feel. The oldest monks say it's in the feet where karma gathers. Every wrong step, every ignored direction of the heart, every pain left unheard, it settles there. And if it's not cleansed with intention, it turns into chronic fatigue, into sleepless nights, into nameless anxiety. Our ancestors knew this. That's why, in so many cultures, feet were washed before any important ceremony. Before weddings, before burials, before beginning a new cycle. It was a symbolic way of cleansing the path, erasing old traces to make room for the new. Think about it. When was the last time you truly had a fresh start? Today, we're so disconnected we only notice our feet when they hurt. But pain is just the final alarm. Long before that, the body was begging for attention. Meanwhile, monks still walk barefoot every day in silence. They feel the cold ground, the heat of the stone, the touch of living earth. They aren't just walking, they're listening, because every step can be a prayer or a repetition of the same mistake. If this idea stirs something in you, take a deep breath. Feel your feet right now. No rush, no judgment. Are they tired, warm, cold, tingling? That tiny pause you just took is already the beginning of the ritual. And if you too believe ancestral wisdom shouldn't be forgotten, hit that like button now. This isn't about an algorithm, it's about commitment. You saying, I want to remember what matters. And in just a moment, you'll discover the exact ritual that monks, and even our own grandparents, used to cleanse the body, the soul, and even the blocked paths of fear and anxiety. But before we move on, look at your feet once more. They brought you here. Number, this isn't about an expensive spa. It doesn't involve fancy crystals, imported incense, or overpriced candles. What you're about to learn is a ritual that's simple, ancient, and profoundly powerful. You only need 3 elements: warm water, 2 sacred herbs, chamomile and St. John's wort, and presence. Yes, presence. Because what turns water into healing isn't what you put into it. It's what you bring of yourself. Start by preparing a simple container, a bowl, a bucket, even a clay pot if you have one. Pour the warm water gently as if you were preparing an altar. This isn't just water, it's the mirror of your energy in that very moment. Then, add a handful of dried chamomile flowers. Chamomile isn't just there to calm you down. It washes away traces of the anger you swallowed in silence, of impatience, of the fear you pretended not to feel. Next, add St. John's wort. This herb acts like a subtle shield against what you've absorbed but doesn't belong to you: envy, harsh stares, unspoken words that lingered in the air. And now comes the most important gesture. Immerse your feet with intention. Feel the warmth touching your skin, as if the water were reading you. Use your hands too. Touch your feet with care, as if you were thanking them for carrying you through every tough decision, every sleepless night, every moment when you thought of giving up, but didn't. While you do this, repeat silently, "With this water, I return what is not mine. With this touch, I embrace what still hurts. With this presence, I set myself free." You'll notice you're not just cleansing your feet, you're cleansing memories. You're loosening the grip of inner demands. You're dissolving tiny bits of guilt you didn't even know were there. And here's a detail few people know. The ritual only reaches its full effect if done on a specific day of the week. Yes, there's a moment when the body is most receptive and the earth's energy most open. But that secret I'll reveal in just a bit. For now, share this video with someone in your family who lives tired, someone who wakes up exhausted even after sleeping, someone you love, who may need this more than you realize. You might be the channel of healing they've been waiting for without even knowing it. Picture this now, a quiet room. Only the gentle light of a single candle. The warm water still steam rising in slow spirals. You dip your feet in, and for a moment, time stops. What's happening in that very instant goes far beyond the skin. In Buddhism, water is considered a spiritual sister. She listens, she responds, she holds what you didn't have the strength to say and gives it back when you're ready to understand. So pay attention. If the water cools too quickly, even indoors, that's a sign. A sign your body is too burdened, that there's an invisible layer of emotional exhaustion draining your life force. But if the water keeps its warmth longer than expected, it's because there is readiness. Your body is available to release. Your soul is asking for passage. And this is where one of the most guarded secrets comes in: the silent phrase. It isn't written in books. It's passed from master to student, from grandmother to granddaughter, from caregiver to caregiver. This phrase has the power to consecrate the water, transforming a simple gesture into a ritual of spiritual medicine. It doesn't matter if you believe or not. Water responds to vibration, and the vibration of the right words, spoken with intention, is what activates the subtle field of the ritual. But this phrase isn't meant to be spoken out loud. It's whispered only when the body begins to relax, when your shoulders finally drop, when your eyes grow wet without a reason. In this very moment, you whisper, and the water listens. The steam rises like a soft breath. The air itself feels thicker. Some people sense a chill running up their legs. Others cry quietly, as if a forgotten part of themselves were being touched for the very first time. This is the turning point. It's not about washing your feet. It's about opening a space within yourself where nothing needs to be explained and everything can simply be felt. Now, if you've made it this far, it's because something deep inside you recognizes this ancient language. Write in the comments right now, strength through purity. These 3 words aren't just a symbol. They are your access code to transformation. They activate within you the permission to release what no longer serves you and to receive what is already on its way. And in the next few moments, you'll understand why certain ingredients, seemingly harmless, can sabotage the ritual without you even realizing it. Don't leave now. What comes next might be exactly what's been keeping you from accessing the full power of this practice. Now that you know a simple ritual with water can free your body from invisible weight, we arrive at the most delicate truth. Because here's something few will ever tell you. Not every ritual works, and the reason, more often than not, lies in small mistakes, innocent at first glance, that completely cancel out the energy of the practice. Worse still, these mistakes don't just block the effects, they can reverse them, creating new layers of exhaustion, mental fog, and even drawing you back into repetitive cycles of pain. Yes, the ritual has power, but only when it's respected. And the first mistake is almost always the same: using vinegar in the water. It sounds harmless, right? After all, vinegar shows up in plenty of spiritual cleansing practices floating around the internet. But here's the detail no one tells you. Vinegar is harsh on the subtle energy of your feet. It tears at the vibrational layer that protects your foundation. It's like ripping the canvas of a boat just before you try to cross a river. When you pour vinegar into the water hoping for purification, what actually happens is an energetic stripping. You're left open, but without a filter. Everything in the environment comes in, and instead of feeling lighter, you may end up more drained, restless, with a growing emptiness you can't quite name. The second mistake: using regular soap. But what's the problem with washing my feet with soap, you might ask? The problem is in the synthetic chemicals that block your energetic pores. Commercial soaps leave behind a film on your skin, cutting off the energetic exchange between your body and the water. It's like wrapping the roots of a plant in plastic. Nothing gets in, nothing gets out. The root begins to suffocate. In the ancestral way, the touch of your hands is sacred. That's where the cleansing truly happens. It's not about lather. It's about connection. It's not about fragrance. It's about frequency. And here's the third mistake, maybe the most common one: doing the ritual half-heartedly, at any random time. as if it were just another task on your to-do list. This ritual doesn't work on autopilot. If you soak your feet while scrolling through emails, binge-watching Netflix, or stressing about tomorrow's deadlines, it loses its power. Because presence is the invisible ingredient that activates it all. Without it, you're just getting your feet wet. And finally, there is a silent but very dangerous mistake. Talking about what you felt with those who aren't ready. Yes, oversharing with the wrong people can drain the effect. Some spiritual experiences need to ripen inside you before they're exposed to someone else's gaze, especially for those eyes that doubt, mock, or try to explain away with logic what you could only ever understand with your heart. That's why the best thing you can do is write it down, record it, keep it safe, and only later, if you feel it could inspire someone walking a similar path, share it with discernment. This ritual is a gift, but like every sacred gift, it demands care. Now listen closely. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the full formula of the ritual. Every gesture, every word, every detail. But first, if you want me to reveal other forbidden rituals, ones that cleanse the mind, reset the body, and even attract abundance, hit subscribe now and ring the bell, not as a mindless click, but as a seal, a commitment to yourself that you're choosing to reconnect. The next video may look like just another one in your feed, but it could carry exactly what your soul has been asking for, even if you didn't yet know how to name it. The moment has come. Now that you know what to clear, what to avoid, and how to prepare the space, you're ready to step into the heart of the ritual. But before that, breathe. Feel that this moment is not just instruction, it's transmission of something that doesn't belong to me or to you, but flows through us both because it recognizes us. The space is ready. The candle flame opens the portal between the visible and the invisible, much like a vigil light that holds prayer in silence. The warm water waits, already infused with the herbs. Your feet, still and silent, already sense what's about to unfold. Now, immerse them. Slowly, fearlessly. Feel the very first touch of the water as if it were a reunion. You with yourself. You with forgotten time. You with the strength that's still there, only asleep. Use your hands. Touch your feet gently, starting with the heels. They carry your past, every hard choice, every road not taken, every memory that still holds you, even when you don't notice. With circular movements, move up to the arch of your feet. This is the zone of emotional support. It's where we keep what we never said aloud. The swallowed tears, the words that never had the courage to be born. Next, touch the soles. With firmness and care, here lie the body's memories, the long, lonely walks, the days you dragged yourself forward despite exhaustion, the nights you went to sleep unsure if you'd have strength to rise again. Now go to the toes, one by one, as if giving thanks. Each toe is a subtle antenna. They sense the world before you do. They warn you even when you don't listen. As you do this, say nothing yet. Just breathe. And when you feel your body begin to yield, when the heaviness begins to drain into the water, then yes, whisper, with a low voice, as if confiding a secret to an ancient spirit, say, "Water, my sister, take my weight away. Dissolve what does not belong to me. Cleanse my soul with love and gratitude." Pause. Let the silence do what words never could. Allow yourself to just stay there. No rush to finish, because in this moment, time doesn't count. The clock has no power. Maybe you'll feel goosebumps. Maybe tears will rise without explanation. Maybe nothing at all will happen, and yet everything will change later without you even knowing how. Because this ritual works in corners you can't reach with logic, in the basements of the soul, in the old wounds you didn't even know what a name. Now, gently lift your feet from the water. Dry them with a clean cloth, preferably white. And before you leave, look at the water. It will look different in its color, in its thickness, in its smell, because it's no longer just water. It's everything you left behind. And here comes the final step of the ritual. Before you pour this water out, give thanks. Truly, not as a formality, but as an act of honor. Say, "Thank you for taking what I no longer needed." Pour the water onto the earth if you can, or into flowing water, a river, a creek, even the ocean if you're close. But never down the drain as if it were something disposable. This is the closing, the seal, the bond of respect. Now you know, this ritual isn't about bathing your feet. It's about setting your story free. It's about closing a cycle that may have been open for years, and that, in silence, kept you tied down. And if this ritual already feels powerful to you, just wait until you discover the ritual of the hands. It doesn't just complement the effect, it amplifies it, tripling the cleansing power for your energy and emotions. I'll reveal it soon. And if you've made it this far, I know you'll feel when the moment is right. In Buddhism, there is a teaching both simple and profound. The way you wash your feet is the way you sleep, and the way you sleep is the way you live. This ritual doesn't end when the water cools. It continues. In your body, in your breathing, in the way you lie down at night, in how your eyes close, not from exhaustion, but from peace. And it's in this state, right after the ritual, that something special happens. The unconscious, now cleansed, begins to speak, not with words, but with symbols. Yes, it's common that in the nights following this ritual, your dreams will shift. They'll feel more vivid, more quiet, more profound. You may see a river, a symbol of release. It carries away what no longer serves you. Don't fight the current. Just watch. Let it flow. You may walk through a forest, a symbol of rebirth. Step among the trees. There, healing takes root. It's where your soul learns to breathe again, without fear. Sometimes a bridge appears, simple, wooden, or vast, suspended. It doesn't connect places. It connects versions of you, the one you were and the one that's ready to arrive. Some dream of golden lights, voices that aren't spoken, or doors that open in silence. All of these are signs that something is shifting in the unseen, that the ritual has touched exactly where it needed to. And don't try to decode it. The language of dreams isn't logical, It's poetic, and like all true poetry, it doesn't need to be understood, only felt. Now, listen closely. What you dream after this ritual is not fantasy. It's an answer. It's your soul's way of saying, I heard, I accepted, I began. And before we close, I'll ask you for something simple but powerful. Drop a comment below and share what symbol appeared in your dreams after the ritual, even if it seemed meaningless, even if it was just a small detail. That symbol might be the exact sign someone else needs to recognize their own path, because sometimes your dream is the key that unlocks another person's door. And here's one last reminder. This practice with your feet is the first portal. But there is another, the ritual of the hands. Yes, the hands, the same hands that touch, that heal, that hurt, that hold on to what should be released. The same hands that cradled your feet during the ritual must also be cleansed, because they are the ones that shape everything in the physical world. Washing the feet is about freeing the past. Washing the hands is about preparing the future. And the next video will be about that dash. How to use the same principles, water, presence, and intention, to activate the power of creation, protection, and healing that lives within your own hands. But pay attention, this ritual isn't just a continuation, it's an expansion. It doesn't simply complement, it multiplies the effect of everything you've lived so far. So subscribe now, not as someone who just follows another channel, but as someone who silently declares, I choose to continue. Because this journey isn't about believing or testing, it's about remembering. Remembering what your body already knew. Remembering the strength that was there, only asleep. Remembering that you don't need permission to heal, only a space, only a gesture, only a moment of truth, and you've just lived one. Now close your eyes, breathe, and feel. The silence that lingers after the ritual is the sound of your soul whispering, thank you for coming back.